Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. I hope you people are doing well. I hope that you people are enjoying this course. Uh, Today we are going to talk about how to store data permanently inside your mobile application. And for that, we are going to study SQLite database. Uh, Remember that we studied and we implemented a note-taking app where there were classes called shared preferences. By using, like, you can also use a shared preference class to store data permanently in your app. But if you have to store a large amount of data, for example, if you want to store billions and billions of records or millions and billions of data records inside your application or on the server side, then you have to use databases. And you design and create databases using software which is commonly known as database management DBMS, database management system. So today we are going to study how to store data permanently inside your mobile app, and this is the outline of today's lecture. Let me also turn on Android Studio so that we can practically implement what we study in these slides. So today we are going to first study why we use databases in mobile application, and then what is SQLite DBMS, and then we are going to study how to make database in mobile application, how to add tables in database, how to insert records, how to fetch records, and how to log records. So we are going to go step by step, and I'm just going to close this tip, and Android Studio is now running. Let me first let us wait for a moment in order for the Gradle bit the process to finish. Okay, so these are the some tasks that we are going to implement today, but at a very abstract level, I'm going to tell you that you store your data inside database by using SQLite DBMS. So this is your database, and you can query that database, you can query your records, you can delete a record, you can insert record, and you can update record. So these are the commonly used operation on the database. Okay, so with that, I'll go to Android Studio, and as you know, I'm going to create a new project. As always, select empty activity and click next, and here give the name to your app. So I'm going to say permanent storage, and this is, as you know, package name, and this is the location for my app, and we are going to work on Java language and leave the rest as default. I'm going to click on finish. Android Studio is creating a new project for us. It may take some time, but if you click here, you can see that it is loading, configuring, calculating, running tasks. It is creating files, and after it has finished all those processes, you will see green check marks here, which means that your project has been successfully created. So if there are some errors, go and first remove those errors, and then start doing your designing or coding. As you know that in the main activity.java file we do coding. So here for this app I'm not going to design anything. We are just going to implement write some code in order to implement how database is created and how records are inserted and how tables are created inside your mobile application. But for that, let me first start Excel worksheet, because I'm going to tell you in a very like you people have already studied database course, but I'm going to tell you that what actually database is in a very simplified form. So in fact, database always has a name. So let's say the name of our table is user, which is inside a database. So a table normally have attributes. So in our case, it can be names and age of persons, and then you can like say that we have Ali, Umar, Mustafa, Sana. So these are the person, and then I can say that their ages are 23, 19, 18, and 20. So database table is similar to what we have done in this Excel worksheet. We have records. This is the name of the table. Think of it as the name of the table, and these are columns: name and age. Let me, like for readability, let me capitalize it. So these are the name of columns. So table have columns and rows. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. So you can add rows, you can view rows, you can delete, you can update rows. So we are going to create similar type of a table inside of our mobile application. So for that, you first like you first create a database. So let me go here, and like here I'm going to show you how to create a database, how to create a very simple database inside your mobile application. So let me have some space. Alright, I'm going to do some setting. Go to the editor. So let me increase the font size. So let me make it 14. The rest is okay. Apply, because I think the fonts are not visible now. It's okay. So in order to create a database, you just take help from SQLite database class. So this is a class. You make an object of that class. So let me see. I have the object name called my database. And then you pass this activity, which in our case is main activity, this dot, and then you call a method open or create database. So here this method open or create means that if we have no database, then create a new database. But if we have existing database, then do not create any other new database, just open that existing database. So here we do not have any database yet, so first we have to create a database. So the name of that database is user, and then you give the second parameter as mode. So mode in our case is private, which means that only our app can access this records inside this database. And I'm going to just give the other parameter as null for cursor factory. Okay, so this line will create a database. So name of the database is user, and um, we created object of SQLite database class which is called my database, and we call method open or create database. So you people know that in fact Java language is based on objects and classes. You create objects of a class and then you can like manipulate that object. You can call functions on that object, and then you can those functions are saved in classes. So the reason we call Java powerful language is because we have so many built-in classes and we just have to use those classes. So um, our database has been created. So now I'm going to create the table inside our database, which is called, let me call this method which is called execute SQL, and here we are going to write query which is called create table if not exist. So what does that mean? It means that if there is no table, then go ahead and create a table. So what will be the name of table? The name of table will be and then we going to use small case users, and all right, the name of table is users, and then you pass the column names for that table. So the first column is name, as we demonstrated in this Excel sheet. So the first is name, and the second one is age. So name is a variable character, which means that dynamically the memory space will be adjusted according to the size of our record, according to the size of strings saved in name attribute. And the second attribute was age. So let me write age, and age is nothing but integer having 3 digits. Alright, so here I'm going to close this query, and let me put a semicolon in order to terminate this statement. So this line will create a table for us having 2 columns, name and age. Create table if not exist means that if there is no table such as user, then create it. But if there is a table called user, then this statement will not get executed because we already have this table, just like open or create database method. And then now it is the time to insert some records inside of our table. So I'm going to, like, again you write name of your database and then execute SQL, and then you write an SQL query. You people already know about SQL query insert. And I'm going to write into users name age, and then I'm going to write values. You know, you people are already familiar with these SQL queries. They are similar to the queries you learn in the database survey. So the first name is Ali, and his age is, for example, 25. So this is the first person, and let me write similar type of a query. Execute SQL insert into users name age, similar to what we have done in this above statement. Then you write values, pass the values, the records, and Mustafa. Alright, so Mustafa is the name, and the age is, for example, 19 years, and you will put this double quotes, and it is still giving us some extra basis. So far I have inserted two records. So these records are now stored inside of our database. In order to fetch a record from database, we use a class called cursor. So the object of a cursor class will temporarily store those records that are fetched from the database table. So in order to create cursor class, you just write cursor and then my database, and then you apply the raw query, and the raw query in our case is select. You want to select all of the records from users and then give it another argument as null. So what it will do, it will select all of the records from user and then it will put the records in a temporary table. Cursor is nothing but a temporary table called C. So now we can fetch our records from C. So this is how databases inside SQL works. And the next thing what the next thing is to, like, this will fetch all of the records, but we are not mentioning uh, about the columns. What column do we want to fetch? So for that we use indexes takes you to a particular column. The first index in our case is in name index, and we query our cursor object and we said get column index. So what what type of index? The name index. So then remember, name is the name of your first column, and then we are going to create another index called age index, and simply we are going to apply similar type of query, get column index, and here we are going to pass age as our second column. So index will here represent the column. So we have name column, it is stored in name index, and age column which is stored in the age index. Okay. Now moving ahead, we are going to, like, if there are billions of records inside your database, then you have to fetch each record one by one. So for that you use the cursor object and you use a very common function called move to first. Okay, this method will get you to the first record inside of our user table. And then here what we are going to do, we are going to fetch records now from our table and then display it somewhere on our screen. But here let me tell you that we are not going to display anything on the emulator. We are just going to display that records on our log file. So log file, as you know, is a text file that we used for debugging purpose, but we can also use it for displaying some records. So I'm going to apply a while function. While cursor is not equal to null, right? Cursor is not null, which means that we have some record inside of our cursor. So if it was null, so this while, the body of while loop won't be executed. And then you use log I in order to display a record on your logcat, and then the first thing which we want to display is name, and we want to get the record from our cursor by calling get string function and passing the name of our index, which is name index. Alright, similar type of thing, log I, and then we pass age, then we call cursor.getString, and this time we are going to get the age index, age, which means age columns. Here you can see that Android Studio is giving us an error, which essentially is that we have not imported our log class. So hit Alt Enter in order to import it and in order to get rid of this error. So these two statements will fetch the first record for us, but we are going to display all of the records. So we are going to call another method on the cursor object, which is c dot move to next. And you close this statement. So what it will does, it will fetch each record from our database, and then it will display it on and then it will display it on the log file. So let me here I just demonstrate it that whether or not we have successfully inserted records inside of our database, SQLite database. So Gradle is building it. At the same moment, we are also going to look at our log file, because it is the log file where our records will be displayed, and still the Gradle is running, and there are lots of messages which the Gradle logcat is showing to you, but you do not have to worry about it, because we are only interested in our records being displayed on the log file. So Gradle is building, it is like organizing, composing, putting files, converting files into APK file, and then running that on our mobile application. Whereas in mobile application you won't see anything, but okay, here you see these two records that are inserted. The name is Ali and age is 25, and the next record was Mustafa and the name was 19. So we have successfully implemented we have successfully implemented how to store records inside of our database. It is giving us some error which we should we get bothered, because already we are saving records. I think it is not a very fatal error, and we should for the moment ignore it, because our records are inserted and they are displayed. So log.I name c.get string name index is showing this Ali, and then this statement is showing the age of that person. Because we have two records, so it has displayed two records. But if we run this application again, and if we modify these records, so let me say that it is Omar, leave the age as 25, and the second is from Hashir. So I'm going to change the age for Hashir, it is 22, and let us also change the age for Umar as well. So if I run it again, you will see that we will be having 4 records inside of our database. So let the Gradle do its job. Now the second time it has executed your file in a very short time, and here you can see that now we have 4 records. So this is how we insert records inside. This is how we create a database. We create the tables inside that database, and then we insert records using execute SQL method, and by using insert query, and then with the help of cursor we are able to retrieve those records from the database. Let me tell you that use shared preference where you have to store small amount of data. But if your data record goes big, if you have to store thousands or billions of records, then you have to think about using database. You can use shared preference to store a lot of records, but shared preference are not as efficient as database as inserting record inside database, because shared preferences takes a lot of time in storing and retrieving a record, whereas database are much more efficient. It takes less time for record storage. So always use database in order to store records inside your mobile application. So in the next lecture we are going to study some more advanced database concept, particularly how to implement primary key, foreign keys, how to create more than one tables inside of a table, and how to connect those tables to the user interface. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.